Hello. Today's briefing will be based on one of my favorite topics, servant leadership. It'll be presented to you by VJ Kumar, Nicholas Dowles, Destiny Harrell, Ariana McGowan, and myself, Kimberly Hines.
Hi, I am Vijay. Servant leadership is a philosophy where leaders' primary role is to serve the team first, prioritizing their growth, well being, and empowerment. At its core, it emphasizes principles like empathy and listening, that is, building trust through understanding and sharing others' feelings. Stewardship means taking responsibility for resources and people, while commitment to growth ensures personal and professional development. Building community helps with collaboration and belonging. The benefits are significant: improved job satisfaction, stronger teamwork, professional development, and innovation in a safe environment, all leading to sustainable organizational success. In practice, servant leadership requires emotional intelligence, ethical decision making, and empowering others. Prominent CEOs like Herb Kelleher, Satya Nadella, Mary Barra practice servant leadership style. Ultimately, it's about shifting from command and control to serve and support, creating culture where everyone thrives.
Hey, I'm Nick, and today I'll be highlighting how servant leadership contributes to leadership studies and how it differs from traditional leadership approaches. Servant leadership expands our understanding of effective leadership by placing ethics, follower development, and moral responsibility at the center. Their success is not measured by how much power they hold, but by how well they help others to grow and thrive. In focusing on moral responsibility, servant leaders see themselves as accountable not just for their organization, but society and future generations. They use power ethically and intentionally to empower others, encouraging followers' voice and participation. This stands in clear contrast to traditional leadership models, which prioritize leaders' authority, direction, and performance outcomes. Servant leadership shifts from focusing on commanding people to building people. Ultimately, it shows that leadership is not about being in charge, but it's about taking care of those in your charge. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Destiny, and I'll be going over the key criticisms of servant leadership. First, the theory faces conceptual ambiguity. There is no universal definition, and researchers disagree on which traits or behaviors truly define a servant leader. This makes the model difficult to measure consistently, and it often blends traits, behaviors, and outcomes together in a way that can be confusing. Recent reviews by Bavik and Eva and colleagues highlights this lack of clarity. Second, the approach is sometimes viewed as idealistic or impractical, especially in fast paced or high pressure environments because servant leadership emphasizes selflessness and prioritizing follower needs. It can slow decision making or conflict with competitive or hierarchical cultures. Some scholars argue it presents a somewhat utopian view of leadership that doesn't always align with organizational demands. Finally, the servant leadership is highly dependent on follower receptivity. The model works best when followers actually want empowerment and relational closeness with their leader, but not all employees prefer this level of involvement. Some may want more structure or authority. When there's a mismatch, research shows it can reduce engagement and job performance. These criticisms help us better understand where servant leadership works well and where it may face limitations. And now I'll pass it over to Kim, who will walk us through why servant leadership matters today.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kim, and today I'll be discussing recent developments related to servant leadership. Northouse explains that servant leadership focuses on putting followers' needs first and helping them grow and succeed. Over the past 5 years, this approach has become even more relevant because of three major shifts. We face COVID 19, the rise of remote and hybrid work, and the growing emphasis on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, during the pandemic, employees faced uncertainty, stress, and lots of change. Servant leadership behaviors like empathy, healing, community became essential for supporting well being. Leaders who listen carefully and prioritize care help teams remain stable and engaged. In remote and hybrid environments, servant leadership now plays a key role in overcoming distance and isolation. By showing support and building trust, the team feels connected even when they aren't physically together. Finally, servant leadership aligns closely with DEI efforts. Its core values such as stewardship, awareness, commitment to growth, these all support inclusive cultures where every team member feels valued, heard, and respected. My teammates will share more.
Hi, I'm Ariana, and servant leadership has become especially relevant in today's workplace because organizations are dealing with challenges that go far beyond hitting performance targets. Employees are looking for leaders who actually support their well being. We see this play out in real scenarios like remote teams that depend on trust to stay connected, or companies navigating layoffs and reconstructing where people need leaders who communicate openly and actively listen. Of course, it's not perfect. In fast paced or highly competitive industries, the collaborative style can slow decisions. In some profit driven cultures, may struggle with a model that puts employee needs first. Overall, servant leadership continues to matter today because it addresses the human side of work, something modern organizations can't afford to ignore.